Welcome to
Penguin
Worldwide Podcast.
Wah!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Penguin Worldwide Reviews. I'm Daniel,
I'm Chris.
and we just saw The Silence. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about The Silence, Chris.
All right, so The Silence is a Netflix Netflix original, and it's where we saw it on Netflix. There, it's about a family surviving basically like an apocalypse event with a bunch of flying monsters that attack anyone or anything that makes sound. That's how they locate their prey.
Yeah, at the beginning, I guess it shows these cave divers or whatever, and they uncover this like prehistoric species of bat, I suppose. It's kind of like they're more resembled like a demonic looking bat, and they all came up to the surface, and they just started hitting all of the major parts of the world. I think that like the whole world's getting hit, and this family communicates through sign language, so it revolves around them using that to communicate. And I think it actually did a pretty good job telling that story, like using that to kind of keep you engaged a little bit.
Yeah, because one of their daughters is deaf, and so she has to communicate through sign language. So they develop that skill, and they're able to communicate effectively without making any sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty clever way of handling that situation.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the movie after just having seen it?
So after having seen it, I think it started off pretty good. Like I think it kind of got right to the point real quick. It didn't like have a lot of build up. So it was like pretty good pacing for the most part. But then like, as about like the halfway mark, it starts introducing like another antagonist group, like this little cult. And I feel like it kind of drifted off from like their main goal, I guess, and kind of sidelined the story to, them having to defend against this cult now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that's kind of where like it kind of lost the impact of like the movie being silent and then these monsters being around. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that kind of took away from it a little bit. I guess I get what they went for. It kind of seems like with that route they wanted to make it like a TV series or something, because I feel like that could have been a good time to introduce something like that if it wasn't just a movie but feels like a series with more time to flesh these things out. I feel like it could have worked, but in the movie setting I feel like it just kind of came in and then went out real fast too.
Yeah, it seems like when you have a movie like, let's say, zombies, for example, like The Walking Dead, you deal with zombies for like the first season, and then after that they're trying to like figure out, okay, but the people who are alive are even more dangerous. So then you have to deal with radical groups of people surviving and how bad they are. And it feels like this movie already it's got halfway through, and then they're like, but people are even more dangerous.
Yeah.
So it adds that whole, I don't know, it came up on it real fast to have to like, oh, now we have to worry about this.
Yeah.
Did you come up with a way in your mind to defeat the monster?
To like defeat it, probably not. I think that you really have to just adapt and to probably learn sign language and like or at least be able to communicate without it, because there's too many of them. There's
yeah, it's like swarms at this point. Like they're just all over the sky, and they fly, and they're all over the sky. So.
Yeah, there's no way you're killing them all. There's like you can like distract them, I think, and that was kind of the best thing I think that these characters should have utilized more. Because they did distract them to a lot of times, and I'm like, that's cool, but they could have done that a lot more to save themselves. But yeah, and then it is also said in the movie like they don't like the cold, so I guess you'd have to try to figure out something with that to survive a little bit.
Yeah, because they are like just biological creatures, so they have weaknesses. They They're soft. They're squishy. You could kill them, stab them, shoot them. They can't see. That's another thing, another advantage you have over them.
Right.
Yeah, and if you have things causing distractions, I think you could get some kills on a bunch of them. But yeah, I don't think you could get rid of all of them. They seem to reproduce pretty quickly. Like they hatch a bunch of eggs and dead carcasses and stuff. That was kind of gross to see that in the.
Yeah, it's
kind of a nice little
like an alien type
reference,
kind of where they're laying eggs in the people. I'm like, oh crap! So it's not only now that they're already kind of dangerous, but now they're multiplying outside. So it's like, shoot.
Yeah, but just you still only have the one type, so it's like you should be able to figure out a way to slow them down somehow. I just kept thinking kind of like a bug zapper kind of thing, but on a huger scale that emits sound and attracts these things to it. You'd kill a lot of them that way. They got a lot of them in a wood chipper at one point,
which was cool.
Which was a good idea. They make a lot of noise and they grind it up real fast. So. Yeah, things like that. You would need traps.
Yeah, exactly.
But it would be hard to.
And it seemed like the way that they came out too is like it just happened real quick. Like nobody prepared. Like the world didn't prepare for it. So yeah, they were unprepared and no time to prep.
Yeah, and then also like a part in the movie that was. It made me start thinking of how you could beat them was because they had the cell phones going off. Like they use them kind of like as bombs or like kind of make them all swarm certain targets. They infiltrate like, well, the family holds up in a cabin and those radical like lunatic religious people are all outside and they send a young girl in to the cabin. So the family takes her in because like, oh, there's a little girl out here. And then she has all these like cell phones that she starts running around and leaving them all over the house. And they all start going off because they're calling them or they're alarmed or something. And so the animals start swarming that cabin. But it made me think like if you could just use those phones as distractions, that's a real good weapon, you know, to have them go towards a certain location. And then you could pick them off. I don't know. I just felt like there's ways to beat them. And everyone's just trying to survive, but they're not trying to figure out a way to destroy them. I think that was a big problem.
Yeah. And it does come down to like the family does have like a couple medical issues. Like there's this grandmother that has asthma or needs an inhaler, and you know she'll start coughing if it acts up. And I thought she was actually spoilers, but I thought she was gonna die, but she actually ended up kind of surviving it. So like they didn't say, like it never came up. I thought she was for sure gonna like die at some point, but
she did die. The mom died. The grandma died.
Oh, she did, yeah.
She did die, but not because of
but not because of the needing the asthma. She kind of sacrificed herself. And then the mom got bit, and then it infected her leg, so they had to go get medicine, antibiotics for her. And it feels like they're just always trying to fend off these little mini problems and not having time to really fight back against these things.
Yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't put it on the family to try to save the whole world, but you should be able to secure a little area for yourself to survive. That's all you need to do. Yeah. Go underground.
And that cabin was working. they were chilling for a bit.
And it was pretty like not really prepped for like war against these things. It's just a regular cabin in the woods. Like it had tons of vulnerable spots, like a bunch of windows that could be broken, and so they weren't really like prepared for it. But yeah, they did fine in there until all the windows broke.
Yeah, until the colt followed them and attacked them.
Yeah. So the movie it reminded me of is A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, but those monsters are bigger and scarier.
Oh, shoot.
But they fight them with sound. Like, if you put too much sound, it hurts them.
So it's like symbiotes?
Kinda, yeah.
I gotta see that.
And that movie had some better emotional parts to it. But yeah, I won't spoil that one. But we will spoil this one. So let's get to your opinion of this movie. What did you think about it
Out of 10, because the movie just kind of ends.
Oh yeah, it's abrupt end.
Yeah,
it just slams those brakes. It's like, and we'll see. We'll see who wins.
Yeah, literally. That's what I was saying earlier. Like it kind of looks like it was leading in like a TV series or something because it just ends. It just abruptly ends, and just like, oh, I guess we'll see who survives. And like that was it. Like what? I felt so cheesed. I don't know if there was ever a. No, I don't know. Like it's that kind of. I don't know.
It was very awkward. It was like, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
There's like a whole act missing almost. At least somewhat,
Mm-hmm. They're like, let's just chop it. It's almost an hour and 40 minutes. Let's just call it. They're like, what?
They can't hit the 22-hour mark, so
people won't pay attention for that long.
Oh, dang. I don't know, but yeah, it just kind of literally abrupts. So
it's so weird.
Yeah, everything was decently well up into that. So I don't know. I feel like that hurt it for sure. Because it's kind of unprofessional, I would almost say. So
not a graceful execution of the ending.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe a 4.5. Because I was kind of thinking of like a 5.8 or something before the ending. But yeah, that ending hurt it quite a bit. I had to knock at least a point down. What did I say?
You want to lock it in, or you want to stew on it a little bit? 4.5. You're going to lock that in, or you want to drop it at the end?
I think 4.5 is fine. It's not like bad. Like I'm not like bashing on this movie or anything, but it just like it just ends. Like, it's not complete.
I will kind of bash on this movie a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Whoa.
It feels like a sci-fi version, like a sci-fi, the TV network, the sci-fi version of like The Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. Quiet Place was way better. It's basically the same premise, like a monster attack sound, and it's just done better. And then I don't know, there's some visual effects in this movie that kind of looked lame, low budget. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Because at the end of the movie, Netflix gives you an option like you didn't like it, you liked it, or you loved it. Mm-hmm. And that option's like I said, I liked it, but I don't think I liked it that much.
Whoa.
I'm giving it a 3.5. It's pretty low. I don't think I'd recommend it to anyone I know. Like if my wife wanted to see it, I'd be like, nah, probably not. There's A Quiet Place 2 to watch. Just seems like there's better. And I don't know. Then the ending kind of really soured it for me. Like if they had a good ending, it would have been decent. But I'm gonna leave it low because I don't think it. Apart from maybe a couple. Like the idea, I think is cool. The monster.
I like the kind of apocalyptic settings,
like monsters attacking the world, and like that. Like the feeling they get when you see like news reports of like the world being attacked by things. It's kind of crazy. Like that feels too real, and like that's a cool like situation to deal with.
Right.
But I think the movie as a whole, kind of like with the like those weird people that come around, and it just felt like two different movies mashed together and not done particularly well. It kind of felt like Children of the Corn, like some weird cult.
Yeah.
And so I'll leave it
structurally
low.
It fell apart.
Yeah, a little bit. The characters they all did a decent job, I guess. I felt like, okay, the dad cares about his family. Like the kids weren't annoying or anything.
Right.
And you see a grandma suffering, you feel bad for her a little bit. The mom gets it hurt, you feel bad for her. But it's just like, dude, you're in Man up times. You gotta just sharpen a spike stick and get to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I left it pretty low. I'll leave it at 3.5 for my own opinion.
All right.
Let's see what it's rated.
Oh yeah. So
on some
if
other
we
platforms.
look at some other ratings overall, Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 30% on the tomato meter. So that's kind of where you kind of ranked
Does
it.
does it say if that's critics or audience?
That says, well, that's the tomato meter, right? So that's probably them with their 37 reviews, and then their popcorn meter, which I'm guessing is the audience score.
Audience.
That was a 26%.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh. Ouch. IMDb has this at 5.4, so more in line with yours. Yeah, I guess just my own. What brings it down, I think, is just it feels like the edges are real sharp.
yeah.
And it's like you want to get into it, but I don't know. I just feel like you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And the things you want to see more of, they just end it.
Yeah.
Like, let's see how they deal with. Oh no, you don't get to see how you deal with them.
Yeah.
They kind of just say, well, we'll see who wins in the long run, who adapts better and evolves to.
Which is going to be these monsters. So
Yeah,
I guess maybe they ripped themselves into a wall and they're like, well, there's no way they're surviving.
Yeah, like, I mean, we could probably survive in the cold somewhere.
We just
That's
learn to live
about it.
among them, maybe. Like, just to let them do their thing and then we're...
Or they could just have the rest of the world and all we have are these Arctic circles.
Yeah.
The poles. Yeah, so it just seemed like a cop out. And I felt robbed.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a little rough for me.
There was the aspect about the sign language that I did like.
Yeah.
And, because I took some of that in high school, so I kind of like, it's kind of cool to see a representation of it. So I feel like that kind of was like, that's a nice charm they added to it, but yeah.
It was more effective than writing because those other people were just
Yeah, they're
writing.
taking forever. Drawing it out.
It's just like, I don't think like trying to be silent is the way to go. You got to create a bunch of noise pollution so you can hide in the noise. Like you can't, because then once you make a single noise, you're like the most obvious thing, you know.
Yeah.
If everything's quiet around you and then you accidentally go, it's like, okay, you're getting attacked. But if you have a bunch of noise going all the time, you could hide in the noise.
And
I think it's like camouflage for.
I think they just shouldn't have left their house.
Yeah.
Because they just ended
Well,
up...
I mean, in the city, you're kind of screwed anyway because there's so much noise to attract them. Like, I think they would have stayed in the city a lot longer than moving out to like the
countryside.
Yeah, they got over that city quick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about, I was like, maybe they shouldn't have left because they're just in another house. But
Well, her friend stayed and his parents got killed.
yeah,
He had to escape eventually.
but they were already like cool with the sign language, so they kind of knew to be quiet. This family got it.
Well, he did because he was interested in her.
Well, yeah, but I'm
his
saying
whole
about
family.
the main family though. Like they could have camped it out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they would have. If they could have like hunkered down, yeah, maybe. I don't know. The uncle seemed ready for.
Oh yeah,
action.
he was like, let's go.
He's like, we're doing this. I feel that like that's how I would be, but I don't know if I would lead everyone into a good situation. Probably like the way he did. He's like, let's go, and then instantly die.
Yeah.
Crash your car because of deers.
True. I don't think I could take that. Like, I'm down to like fight these things or whatever and try to survive, but I don't know if I'm leading anybody.
It's like, I got a plan, but I don't think it's gonna work.
And
I don't know. You feel like you need to just go with the plan and then see it through, or just adapt. You know, like, okay, that didn't work. Let's see what else. Like, you got to do something though. Doing nothing ain't gonna get you nowhere. But yeah. See, that's what I think about this movie. Is like, it made me think about it more than like sit and enjoy the movie because I was like,
I see.
how do we beat these things?
Yeah. Yeah, if you have like a medical condition, you're kind of just out of the running. I think something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
or if you have a baby,
Oh.
that scene was harsh.
That was harsh. This movie did do a lot of things that I don't like seeing in movies, and that's like babies dying, and then
Oh, they totally
and then
gave up
dogs
that
dying.
Oh yeah, the dog and the babies. Totally, just like I'm like, oh, they're
Yeah.
screwed.
I was like, dang, you don't kill those two things. That's brutal.
Oh, if you do watch it, just watch it till that scene where they have the lady on the subway with her crying baby.
And all the passengers are like, you gotta go. Like they're about to throw that baby out of the subway. But she's like, no, I'll go with it. And starts crying.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't gonna last long either, but shoot. That's rough.
I think they should have turned off the subway. I think they should just keep that running and just killing.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like there's a bunch of ways to better secure yourself in that situation.
So you left this. You're leaving with the impression like I could probably survive better than this group.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me.
Like I would have an interior room that's way more secure than the outer rooms, like that are exposed to windows. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like even if it's just like one room, you want to have it all closed off. Move a big bookcase or something in the way of the window. Something you gotta slow it down at least a little bit. A safe room. Make one safe room. And then maybe you could fight your way back out of that one room. But
Dang.
they seem pretty vicious though, huh? They like their bites and scratches are
Yeah, they kind of like
super effective.
Eat people real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe not even real quick. But they will like eat them until they're gone, basically.
That old lady in the well. They're
She's
munching on
getting
her
chomped
for a
on for like
while.
5 minutes.
At least. If not like longer.
And it seemed like too, because like a lot of the bodies they see, like they're not like all de-skinned, you know.
No,
just, like,
yeah, some of them just had one chomp like in the neck or something.
yeah, and that killed them.
Yeah.
So it's like that they're like hungry, even like to eat the whole thing.
They're
More
just
about
trying
just
to kill it. But then they did make a meal out of that old lady. They were chomping on her for a while.
yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's just whatever they want. And I guess where they're nesting or something, putting their eggs in there.
Mm-hmm. No, maybe. Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good point.
Well, yeah. So 3.5, you said?
Yeah.
3.5? I said
Locking that in.
4.5? All right. Interesting. Well, yeah, I guess, see it if you really want to. There is a game based on this movie. So I don't know if like they did any better of a job. Like,
what's it on? What platform?
I think it's on like PC, like Steam. So
okay.
and it's supposed to be pretty immersive. Like you use your in-game microphone, so you have to be quiet, and then like your in-game movements also attract noise. So it's kind of like immersive in that one.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, but
see, the idea is better than the execution of the show.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it does a better job with like the potential story they can use with it. So I don't know. It leaves me something like I'll look into that game or something.
Yeah, get into that. Get some of that footage up there. Get a review on that game.
All right. Well, I was Daniel.
I was Chris.
Wah.